Las Vegas was not always a successful and eventful place we see today. It began as a dirt road where the creek meets the meadow. As a result, the Spaniards labeled it Vega, which meant low fertile ground. During the early years, the government decided to build a mail route that connected Salt Lake City to San Diego. When this was done, the Mormons made their way from Utah into Las Vegas, but because of their practices and trouble with the Native Americans, the Mormons were driven out. The city was formally founded in 1905, but because of the lack of material and the lack of people moving to the city, it maintained its appearance as an older town, being about 30 years behind the town surrounding it. The main street, Fremont, was paved in 1909, and it didn't finish being paved until 1925, when there was a bigger stretch to be paved, and it extended to other streets and even a main road that would become Los Angeles Highway. Another big accomplishment was when the federal government decided to build a dam near the emerging city. It was approved in 1928, which meant it would bring high economic change during the Great Depression. After the city began its path to success, it became an icon for the Old West, and many of the buildings resembled it. Douglas Haskell says in the 1937 architecture record that there has been much talk about an architecture of light and air. This, Las Vegas, puts it into action. It is not elegant, but it appeals to the mass of people and grows out of desire. This was a step he took to try to explain what was happening in Las Vegas without having any idea of what would become of it in the 20th and 21st century. The buildings began to sprout throughout Fremont Strip. Where more people were drawn by astonishing signage than with elaborate events happening inside the building. The reason was that the buildings featured the same event, gambling. A company which profited from this move was the Young Electric Design Company, which expanded these signs throughout the city. One of their accomplishments was the expansive 216 feet long sign for the Stardust Hotel. Another company was the Federal Sign and Signal Company, who designed the Dunn sign, which became a significant item to the shaping of the city's image. The architects who emerged through the development had a dilemma on their hand, which involved the popular signage. Some architects embraced the idea and participated in the design of the sign. Some, however, felt that the clutter of the logos would overpower the building and that they did not need signs. One hotel, the Tally Ho, in 1962, tried not to conform to the trend of the strip by not putting up huge signs or having a casino in its lobby, but it proved unsuccessful because the hotel failed within a year. In 1966, the hotel was then bought by Milton Pearl, who brought his perspectives from a previous hotel, the Sahara, and decided to remodel the building by adding a casino and a theater. The image was slightly changed, but besides the addition of a few objects, it maintained the hotel part of the original building. A few additions also included a serrated canopy to cover the entry and a $750,000 15-story sign designed by Yesco and approved to be the element and that helped keep the appearance of the city and helped keep the establishment profitable. It turned from a small forgotten town to a high profitable travel destination. Architecture plays a huge part in the development of this city, but the city also played an important role in the development of architecture. The Excalibur architect Beldam Simpson responds, "It's a Vegas castle," to the question about the accuracy of the design. The city allowed the building and the architects to explore ideas and buildings of historical and creative significance and bring them into the present fantasy world.